Hello, good morning, and I'm Liz Parker, and welcome to the webinar on how to design your virtual business. This comes to you through the 2014 Queensland Small Business Week. Just to do a few housekeeping things, if you could switch off phones or switch off any distractions, put that iPad and Facebook away, that you'll get the most out of this webinar. I'll also switch off all my phones as well, so you can't hear them. And any questions that you have during the webinar, if you put them in the chat box, then I'll get to them eventually. I'll see them eventually. I'll also stop between each section so that you've got a chance to ask some questions. So I'm Liz Parker. I'm the CEO of a business called 121 Temps, and if you want to check me out, you can go to our website at 121temps.com. We're also able to bring this webinar today at no cost because of the sponsorship of online courses. This is a new program that we're starting up through 121 Temps, and they're virtual online courses that you can do at your own time. They're all self-paced, and they're designed to build your skills so that you can offer increased services to your clients as a virtual assistant. So a little bit, that's just a list of what virtual online courses do. It'll be launched at the end of September, and you can visit the website there. With the recording that we send out, we'll send you a link to that website as well. Okay, a little bit about me. I'm the CEO of 121 Temps. I've been doing this for over 8 years now. We've probably got the largest network in Australia of virtual assistants with close to 2,500 members. We do personal one-on-one mentoring and training. We also do a whole range of services as well, and you can get a list of them at our website. Please connect with me. I connect with everyone online. Twitter, my Twitter handle is Liz Parker, Facebook 121 Virtual, and I suppose my most favorite social media hangout is LinkedIn. So if you search for Liz Parker on LinkedIn, I'll pop up as 121 Temps. If you want to tweet, post, or update about this session during the session, you can use the hashtag 121virtualbus. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Before we start, I'd like you to please make this webinar count for you today. Take out a notepad and pen, your device of choice for taking notes, for instance, or just open a Word file in another window or screen. I want to make this session as practical as possible, and I'll be giving you some activities to do, so please enter into the spirit of it and get the most out of today's session. So if people come to sessions and professional development and training in different mindsets, what I'd love you to do is move into the student mode. So the student mode is when you're here to take notes and learn. So even if you've heard the message previously, if you're here in a learning environment, then you might get something different from that message if your mindset is open. So are we committed to being students this morning? Please type yes in the chat box so I know that you're listening. Great. I love Imogen. She's a woman of few words. Why? So now that I've told you a bit about me, how about you tell me something about you? So type in the chat box a little bit about yourself, your name, if you've got a business name, and what you hope to get out of today's session. That would be very helpful. Right, shall we go through the list, or who wants to start? Your name, if you've got a business name, and what you'd like to get out of today's session. Kim. Fantastic. Thanks, Kim. Virtual assistant, new startup. Okay, fantastic, Liz. Oh, fantastic. Thanks, Imogen. Anyone else? Fantastic, Beatrice. Lots of work for freelance writers. That's great, Karen. We do have quite a few VAs with some chronic illnesses, and it seems to work well for them. You start up, Lynette. Yeah. Okay, great. So hopefully you'll get what you need from this session, and if not, I'm sure we can help you further down the track. I just wanted to start the session with the 3 biggest mistakes that most virtual business owners make when they start up on their own. The first one is they set up thinking that they're there to serve their business. So most set up a business that they serve rather than the business serving them. And what I mean by that is that you work all the hours you can, you focus on making money for the business, you take any abuse that clients hand out, you go into panic mode and don't set any boundaries whatsoever. You're just focused on getting clients without any interest in thinking about how that business will serve you. Is there anyone here that relates to that situation? Come on, don't be shy. Yes or no? Good. Thanks, darling. Your business should be designed in such a way that it serves you. And we'll talk about how you set that up shortly. The second biggest mistake is spreading your message too widely. So this means that you have a weak message because you're trying to be as many things to as many people as possible because you don't want to miss clients. So who can relate to that? And even if you haven't started yet, is that one of your concerns? Yes, thanks, Kim. Great. Yep, a few of you. It's very common. But to be successful as quickly as possible, in fact, the exact opposite needs to happen. So think of a centimetre wide and a couple of kilometres deep. And this should be the format of your marketing. No one wants to hire a generalist. They all want to hire an expert. And to be an expert in something, you have to be more specific about who you're marketing to. And I'll show you how to do that as well today. The third biggest mistake is not developing yourself in the best way to develop your business. So you get the types of people that don't even consider that they can learn new skills, so they don't need any more skills, they'll be fine. And then you get the other people that will do every course known to man to try and put off the day where they're actually going to have to service a client. So who here can relate to that? I won't be looking for clients, I'll just do this extra course. Or I won't do any more courses, surely I can find a client. I've got enough skills. Or I don't have enough skills, so I won't even bother trying. Anyone relate to that? I'm going to put my hand up to this because I did a lot of courses before I started my business, and I got into that mode of just doing another course, Oh, that's fantastic, Beatrice. Wow, Kim. Fantastic. Yeah, look, it's a great procrastinator tool. You know, you'll get clients once you've got more skills in this area, and you'll get clients once you've more skills in that area. But the secret is knowing the direction of your business first and then developing your skills in the same direction. And it makes a huge difference to the long-term success of your business. So we all ready to get started in doing some learning this morning. And we'll nail these mistakes right now. Yeah, Kim, join the club. We're all pretty good at procrastinating. So are we ready, ladies? Yes. Okay, let's go. So this is the outline of what we're going to cover this morning. It's quite a bit of content. I may have to speed up in some sections to get it all in an hour, but I'm just going to say it up front. I'm not selling you anything this morning. You don't need to worry about bringing a credit card out or waiting for that foot to drop. I'm here to give you as much value as possible in this session. And at the end of the session, I'll give you ways in which you can contact me later if you need to. Is that fair enough? So we'll be looking at before you start. And even though you may have started your business, if you haven't done these things before, it's good to go back and do them now. You'll have a bit more information anyway, and you'll find them a lot easier to do. So there'll be a few activities to do around setting up your business goals. Then we'll take a look at branding and building trust. It's very important that when you are offering personal services and you're not meeting your clients face to face, that you generate trust as quickly as possible. And I'll give you a couple of activities to do to help you with that. We'll then look at your clients and look at how you develop your key marketing messages, and in some cases, name your business. And then we'll do a bit of a wrap up, and I'll tell you some next steps to do, because I don't want to leave you high and dry after today's session. Okay. So the outcome of this webinar session today, will be well on your way to knowing who your customer is, what the customer values, and how you can deliver solutions to suit. Now, one of my heroes, Peter Drucker, tells me that if you've got the solutions to that, you can run any business successfully. And I believe him because I've followed him a lot through the years, and he's never let me down. So hopefully he won't let you down either. So section 1, before you start, we're going to look at an exit strategy. We're going to look at financial goals and passions. And I know it seems strange to be talking about an exit strategy, and it's the last thing that you'll probably think of when you're starting your business. You know, you're so focused at the beginning and not the end. But there are a lot of pluses in starting at the end. And Stephen Covey coined this phrase years ago, and it still applies today. But for now, though, I want you to take that notepad or file and close your eyes, that Word file, whatever it is. I want you to close your eyes and visualize where you would like to be sometime in the future. It can be 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. It doesn't really matter. Let your subconscious speak to you, and there's no right and wrong answer, okay? And I want you to start writing down where you'll be, who you will be with, what you will own if it's relevant, and what you will be doing. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, so go and write it down. Don't even think about it. Let your subconscious come through. We all have this information inside us, but we want to let your insides, your subconscious speak to you. When you've written the answers to those questions down or have a visual, can you come back to the chat box and just type done? So it's where you'll be, who you'll be with, what you'll own, or what you'll be doing. That was great, Imogen. That's really quick. And write down next to it, just circle it, what your instinct tells you. Will it be 5 years? Will it be 10 years? Will it be 15? Will it be longer? Just write that down. Great, honey. Fantastic. So for the ones that have done it, how did that feel? Was it like a weight lifting off your shoulders? Was it good to have something in front of you that told you where, yes, fantastic. Look, I do a whole session on a vision board, and that's the start of that process. Having a vision of where you want to be in 10 years from now, then and making it into a visual actually helps your brain identify the opportunities will help you get there. It works. Putting that visual on it really helps. So if you want to take it a step further, I suggest you do that sometime in the future. Lynette is sharing where she wants to be 10 years from now, retired, home paid, feeling that finally my life is well-rounded. Fantastic, Lynette. That's a fantastic vision to have in 10 years' time. So now you've got a vision, okay, for what you want to achieve. That's your exit strategy. And, you know, I've done this exit strategy with all sorts of business people, and I've had the smart people, the back chatters who say, well, I don't want an exit strategy. I just want to keep my business going until I die. But in actual fact, that is an exit strategy, because if you die owning a business and you don't have the appropriate legal documents in place, then you can leave an absolute mess for the people that you love and leave behind. So even if you want to keep going with your business until you pass away, that exit strategy needs to be prepared for. So with that information, I want you to set some financial goals. So look at that final vision that you've got and put a dollar figure on it. This is not an exact financial plan, just whatever you think off the top of your head. So in 10 years from now, Lynette, you might think, I need $1 million, okay? So once you've got that end financial goal in place, you can work backwards. So you can say, well, if I need $1 million in 10 years' time, I'm going to need $500,000, 500,000 in 5 years' time. And then in 2.5 years' time, I'm going to need 250,000. And therefore, in about 12 months from now, I need to make about 100,000. Well, there you go. I've done your figures for you. And then you can further, you could even break that down into a monthly, I want to make $10,000 a month. Lynette says that sounds scary, but I'll tell you this is more than achievable. The average VA turns over about 100,000 a year if they've gone through our process, working 30 to 40 hours a week. Exactly. The problem that I find with VAs that are really struggling is that they don't set those goals high enough. Yes, it needs to be achievable. You wouldn't set it for 100 million knowing that you're only going to offer personal services that are linked to your time. But once you set that goal and see what you can achieve, the next time you set that goal, guess what? It's a little bit higher. Okay, so now you've got your exit strategy and absolutely, honey, you've got to focus. You've got to be determined. Okay, so now we're talking about your passions. So tell me how you would feel if you were running a business and offering services that are boring or mundane or don't give you any pleasure whatsoever. How long do you think you would last in the business? Great goal, Kim. It's achievable. 1 second, 6 months? Wow, Lynette, that's quite long. Well, look, providing services that you love to do means that you'll be naturally good at them, so, because you'll also naturally keep up to date with any changes and therefore provide a better service to your clients. So you'll always keep that 1 or 2 steps ahead of your clients. And this will mean that you'll get more testimonials and referrals because you'll be giving a better service to your clients. So it's a good news story all around. The problem that most people have, though, is that they tend to go with the experience they have built up previously rather than what they love to do. Now, I'm not saying that using the skills you currently have won't work initially, but eventually you will want to do work in the area that fills you with drive, motivation, and determination. And a lot of people ask me, but how do I recognize those passions? And the amazing thing is, especially with women who have had a bit of a career, but they've also brought up a family, that they're so used to having other hats on and thinking of others that they've forgotten what they want. When I say to them, what do you want? Forget about your partner, your husband, or your children, or anyone else who has an influence. What do you want? And so many of them turn around and say, well, no one's ever asked me that. And this is where we're asking you that, and you shouldn't be frightened of it. And I'm going to give you a few minutes to write down the things that you can do. Lynette, there's so many of us in the same position. I just want you to go to your file or your notepad and just start writing down everything. Nothing's too minimal. Just keep writing. Keep writing while I'm talking. Okay? Just let it all hang out. Let it all come out of you. Doesn't have to be the most accurate list in the world, because the things that you want to do and love to do should be included on there. Doesn't necessarily mean just the things that you've worked at in the past. We all have our own gifts. We all bring our own gifts to the table when we develop something like this. We also have other skills that we may use in other areas of our life. So within our family, we could be the organizer, or the one that follows up everyone. Or within our community, we might do something else. Yep, Kim. Write down every single thing, every single skill that you've got. And once you've done that, write done in that chat box. Kim says she wants to specialize in social media from not getting the point of social media, especially Facebook. And I think maybe that you've started at the wrong end. I think you can specialize in social media, but it's such a vast area now that you really need to niche it right down to being an expert in one particular area. Trying to be all things to all people makes it difficult. And social media is really an area where, yeah, you can be good at some of it, but you can't be an expert in all of it. Done, Imogen. Thank you. Please write done when you've finished with your skill list. Done. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, so now you've got the list. Darlene, design, marketing, we don't have the background to compete against uni degrees. Oh, forget about it. Forget about uni degrees. The average length of information you get from a uni degree is 4 years. I'll tell you now from experience, we've brought through 3,000 clients from our system, and not one of them asked to see qualifications. Clients will vote with their feet. And when you're on the creative side, it's how you create. It's something that's not measurable. Some people will like what you do, others won't. But there's such a huge market out there that it doesn't matter. Okay, so I want you to go back to that list. Now, I want you to imagine there's a big pile of folders in front of you, and it's all work to be done. Okay? And I want you to separate it into two lots. I want you to create a pile of work that you'll do right away, and I want you to create a pile of work that you'll do later. And you can go through that list and highlight the stuff that you'll do right away. Lynette, that's a really good question. The creative side of this and marketing the business worries Lynette. She's not got a very good imagination. And I'll tell you what, Lynette, there's a whole host of VAs out there that you can actually outsource the creative side of it to. A lot of your business branding, and when we get to business branding, it's about who you are. And hopefully those exercises will make you feel a lot better. Okay, so you want the things that you love to do, the stuff that you'll gravitate towards first, the stuff that you would do even if you didn't get paid for it. And I've done this exercise with people who thought they wanted to be a VA and at the end of it decided, well, no, I didn't really want to be a VA. I can do admin, but I really want to go off and write this book. And that's okay, because you want to make sure that you're in the right role for you. Deborah says she needs deadlines to determine priorities. You're a process person, Deborah. I love that. That's great. Try and let your creative side of your brain in. Yes, she is. Yay, fantastic, Kim. See, when there's a breakthrough, Kim now loves social media rather than admin. You're not alone, Liz. There's plenty of us out there. So now you should have a bit of a list of the things that you know that you really like to do. And, you know, while you're doing that list, there'll be things there that you might have had a taste of. So we'll take Kim's example of now she knows she wants to do social media. Now, most people don't come to the VA world with social media skills. Okay, they might have used Facebook, they might have used LinkedIn to get a job, but they don't have those overall skills to be able to offer them as a service to their clients. But having recognized that she loves social media, she now knows where she needs to focus her time. So on that list, if there are things that you know that you would like to pursue, but you haven't got the skills, make a separate list, because they're the things that you're going to develop as part of your business. Does that all make sense? Do we feel comfortable with where we're at the moment? Great. I've just been doing this a long time. Kim says I keep smacking her between the eyes. Oh, fantastic. Look, we'll get there. Yes, lots to think about, but thinking about the right things will make a big difference to you and setting your path. Okay, so out of this section, we've got your passions, we've got your goals, your exit strategy, if you want to call it that, with financial benchmarks. How easy was that? I bet when you started this webinar, you thought this is never going to happen today. Okay, we're going to go on to section 2, and this is about branding. And it's very, very important to do this section right. And, you know, a lot of VAs who start off on their own without any coaching ignore this. They don't think it's important, or they use words that they think their clients want to hear. It's not the truth, okay? It's very, very important that you tell the truth. People will want to buy from you because they trust you. And, you know, there's going to be situations where you'll never meet your clients face to face, okay? It'll all be done over Skype, instant messaging, texting, email, phone, okay? Most successful VAs will bring video links into it at some stage or other. But when they're looking for a virtual assistant, they're looking for someone that can offer them the skills that they're looking for. They want to build that trust, and the only way you can build that trust is if your branding accurately reflects who you are. Just think about it. Think about who you are and what your key strengths or attributes are. And I put on this slide a list of attributes. Imogen says, true honesty is better than to underdeliver and fail. Absolutely. If people don't like to be taken on, you know, they don't like anything dodgy. And there's lots of people that they can link with online. Kim, quick question, will your presentation also be available? Yes, I can make that available to you, no problem. So I want you to think about your key attributes. Now, I find that if you ask other people what they think of you, it helps you recognize that strength, okay? Because we often undersell ourselves, especially, you know, the Australians and the Irish are very similar with that tall poppy syndrome. We don't like to talk about ourselves. In fact, my coach told me the other day that I was playing too little, that I undersell myself. And I think we're all very comfortable with that. So you can ask other people what they think of you. But the question is, what 3 attributes come top of mind when they think of you? You don't want them to think about it. You want top of mind stuff. You want the truth. Now, if you can go through the list of attributes and pick your attributes, all very well, do that. But make sure it's the truth. Don't worry about what other people think. Don't worry, don't overthink this, okay? People have come back to me and said, well, everyone said I was stubborn. I didn't want to put that on my list because I couldn't see how I could say I was stubborn in my business. So what we did was, through talking that through, we changed stubborn to determined, because stubborn is the same as determined. And guess what? Having a determined VA is fantastic for clients, because they'll make sure that you achieve what you want to achieve. As soon as the client says to you, I want X, Y, and Z by that time, the determined VA is going to make sure that they deliver. Honey says that that's exactly what she thinks is holding her back, trying to describe herself. Honey, absolutely. That's why you want other people who know you, who you trust, to tell you. Lynette says she always asks employers what she can do to improve herself, and it's the only way she can learn. That's great. Absolutely, Lynette. But you can also ask your friends, your family, your colleagues, anyone who you respect, really, because getting that wide opinion means that you're going to have some options. And you know, branding your business has a direct relationship to selecting your target market. And you'll not hear that anywhere else, but because a lot of people don't get it, and it sounds too airy-fairy for them to repeat it. But most successful business owners will tell you this. I'll tell you why. Let's look at a couple of different industries. Okay. Let's talk about accountants. What attribute or strength do you think an accountant would like to have in their VA, in their business? Say you're doing data entry for them, you're checking emails, you're making travel arrangements, you're making appointments with their clients. Absolutely. Love it. You got it. Yes. That's what they want. And guess what? Someone who's process driven will want to work for an accountant, whereas someone who's creative won't, because it'll drive them nuts. Absolutely, Lynette. So let me give you another example. A psychologist. What would a psychologist who works with patients, works with issues that are quite sensitive? Yes. What else? You'll be taking phone calls from patients. You might be handling messages. You might be exchanging email. Absolutely. Absolutely. So do you see how your key strengths will have a part in you deciding what market you're going to choose? And that's why it's important you start with yourself. You're controlling your business. You're designing your business around you, around what your strengths are, around who you like to work with, around the skills or the things that you love to do. It's about you at this stage of your business. It's not about your clients. Fantastic. Darlene says that this activity has definitely helped her define who she is. And that's the focus of this activity. And you can understand why a lot of VAs fail because they miss this part. Now we talk about your online profile. Your online profile is very, very important. And a lot of VAs ask me, should I have a personal Facebook account and a professional Facebook account? Should I have a personal Pinterest account and a professional Pinterest account? Now, my answer to them is, how long have you been on social media? Who have you connected with? What's your family like? Especially those younger generations that are connected to you and think that the whole world should know everything about them, especially when they're drunk or hanging out and they've got all these photographs up there. So if you have an existing profile up there, yeah, I've got a huge family, right? I've one of 6 and my husband's one of 7, and they've all got children's and nephews now, and it comes from multi-generational, and we're all connected on Facebook. So the first thing I actually did was set up a professional Facebook profile. Yeah, LinkedIn is a bit different. Most people would just have it for business, and I don't think you have a concern with that. Facebook and the other, sharing photos and all of that can be, especially if you're linked to someone and they put something up on inappropriately, it can have a bit of effect on you. Just consider it. You can set up 2 Facebook profiles. There's 8 million false Facebook profiles on Facebook, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. But just consider what you've got up there already. So think about the testimonials you get, the connections you have, what you write, what you like and comment on, what testimonials you give. So make sure that you're giving them to people you want to be connected with. Who you partner with is important. What presentations you make, what events you attend or organize. Now, I'm not saying be vanilla. It's good to have a position, but make sure you're aware of who is going to read that position. Yeah, I think having a personal Facebook profile and then having an extra one that you link your page to. If you've got a business, you should have a Facebook page, but that Facebook page has to be linked to your profile. So rather than link it to your personal profile, set up another one with a different email address that doesn't have too many connections, family-wise. Kim says, me too, Beatrice, but there are restrictions to what you can do on your business page. Yeah, exactly, because once you've set it up, it's pretty hard to roll it back. Okay, so your online profile is very important. Your potential clients will check you out online. They'll check out your photo, have a professional photo, full-faced, so that people don't try and hide it or have a cat or, have a professional photo. People will get their first impressions from that photo and how you write your profile. Yes, Beatrice, a second profile, just for business. Okay, so why have a guarantee? A guarantee actually transfers risk from the client to you. And when the client hasn't met you, even if they've been given a referral, by telling them that you guarantee your service, you're doing a couple of things here. You're telling them that you're really confident in the service that you offer will be a good, high-quality service. You're also saying to them that there is no risk here. Why not give me a go? Because if you're not 100% happy, this is a consequence. And a guarantee isn't a guarantee when there's no consequence. And I see lots of people put up there saying, I guarantee that I will deliver this service within the time frame that I've quoted you. And that's it. I mean, that doesn't mean anything to anyone. And the thing about guarantees are that very, very few people action them. And the other thing about guarantees are, if someone does action it and you give them a full refund or more time or whatever the guarantee is, then because you give it without any second questions, automatically and right away, they're more likely to come back and use your service for something else, and they're more likely to refer you to someone else. I mean, everyone knows in business that some things work out and some things don't. If it's not working out, don't even hesitate. Don't try and work at it to get to a conclusion when you know it's never going to happen. Rather, walk away from it. Okay. Are there any questions about guarantees? And the other thing that you can do with your guarantee is write them around your key attributes, your branding. Okay. So if one of your key attributes is reliability, make your guarantee, and that's the one that your clients are attracted to the most, make your guarantee around reliability. I guarantee that I will deliver this service within budget, on time, or else you'll get a full refund. No questions asked. Remember that your word is on the line here. Well, we'll drive through. I'm lagging behind a bit. I'm getting quite carried away with this session. I'm going to carry on. Guaranteed, if you've got any questions, you can certainly follow up on a chat with me if you like. So in this section, we talked about your passions. Up to press, we've talked about your passions, your goals with financial benchmarks, your branding, and your building trust. So we're getting there with this session. We're talking about your clients now. What drives them to come and look for you? And what influences them to choose you? What your unique positioning will be and your key messages. So what are drivers? Now, we talked before about your branding and how that can influence who your target market is. We talked about a centimetre wide and a couple of kilometres deep. And what tends to happen in business, to spread themselves too thinly. They try something, let's say they try LinkedIn as a service to their clients. It doesn't work out or whatever. Then they move to something else, and then they move to admin, and then they move to bookkeeping, and then they move. So they just keep moving without going any further deeper. People want to hire an expert. So the more you tailor your service to your client's needs, the more successful you'll be. So we'll use Kim's example of social media. Now, Kim, imagine being an expert on Pinterest, StumbleUpon, Facebook, list building, content management, LinkedIn. Do you get right? Let's say Kim says she loves Pinterest. Now, if you become an expert on Pinterest, then that will also dictate your target market. Who hangs out on Pinterest? Do you know, Kim? What gender of people hang out on Pinterest? Women. 98% of people that use Pinterest are women. Heaps of women who want to buy stuff. Females 25 to 45. Okay? Now, an excellent target market for you, Kim, is a client who targets females in that age group to sell their stuff. Let's see. Wedding planners, photographers, florists, dress people, you name it, you've got a whole heap of people that you can pick from. So you've got a choice. You can then decide, I'm going to be, you don't need to be good at fashion, you just need to be good at Pinterest. You decide that you just pick one. You don't have to worry about whether it's going to work or not. You pick one. You get really good at Pinterest for fashion or for insurance that targets women. It doesn't really matter what it is. You're really good at Pinterest. You know how to sell on Pinterest. And you know, the other fact about Pinterest is that if you put specials up on Pinterest, people are more likely to buy from Pinterest than any other social media platform without checking you out. So there's a lot of good reasons why you would become an expert in Pinterest. But by saying you're an expert in Pinterest, you're a centimeter wide and you're going 2 kilometers deep, because what you don't know about Pinterest should be written on the back of a stamp. So you go out and that's where your professional development is, all on Pinterest. And then you pick, it could be financial advisors that target women, it could be a whole range of services. It can be physical, it can be services, it can be products, it can be information products. You just pick one and you go with it, and all your marketing is around them. And these are the drivers. Thanks, Beatrice. As I say, I'll send you the recording. All your information about that target that you've picked, you need to find out what they complain about, okay? A complaint is an opportunity for you, and it could be a complaint about their website. They're not getting enough traffic, or they're not getting enough conversions, or they've got too many emails in their inbox, or when they're in a meeting, they lose an opportunity to take the calls. Okay, so great, Kim. You've got the idea. You need to go to that market and find out what their complaints are. And with vets, I'd say, photos of animals work really well. With vets, you need to give them the vision of what they can achieve. So listen to that target market. What do they like? What do they not like? What keeps them up at night? What will fulfill their dearest wish? Look, and if you're not sure, there's a website, and I'm going to type it in here. Lynette, I think you've got to pick something that you're going to delve into a bit deeper than the other things. That website I've put in is Ask Your Target Market. They have panelists in Australia. If you want to pick a target, and it's quite reasonable, I think I spent $40 on a survey. I gave them the questions and they gave me the answers. I'll answer that question about EAs in a minute, okay? Picking a market and then asking them what their complaints and their opportunities are, what they like and what they dislike, what keeps them up at night, means that you're getting their problems. And once you've got their problems, you can offer a solution. Let me answer the EA question, okay? When you're in work and you're working as an EA and a personal assistant, then you're working for one person and they're buying your time, okay? So you describe yourself as an EA. And as you know, depending on that boss, an EA can have a wide range of responsibilities. When you move to become a business owner and you're using those skills to offer services to others, you don't describe yourself as an EA. Never describe yourself as an EA. And I could put 100 EAs in a room and each of them would be quite different. Each one would have a different strength, a different profile, a different set of skills that they're expert at. They'll be adequate at the rest. They might be I did this exercise a year ago with a EA, and her expertise was CRMs, databases. And she'd been a VA for 7 years and earning $30, $35 an hour. And she came to me saying, I'm fed up with it. I want you to work with me. I know that I can earn more. I just don't know how to do it. And we set her up as an expert in a CRM. She went off. She loved CRM. She loved databases. It was her passion. She went off and she did some training. She became a preferred trainer for Zoho CRM. Today, she's commanding $1,500 a day to go into organizations and train their staff on CRM. She was a VA, an EA. If you stay in the generalists, you'll never become an expert. You are a VA, and there is something that you did as an EA that you were better than all the other EAs on. Kim, that's a real life example. And I do this all day with VAs. Don't focus on the fact that you're good at admin. It does, Lynette. It does come back to devaluing yourself. Darlings, you're not. That is a terrible thing. You are not useless. No one on this earth is useless. I'll give you an example of one of our long-standing VAs who's been with me 8 years. She came to me. She was a 60-year-old grandmother in Gympie. She worked for Woolworths all her day. She injured her shoulder doing packing shelves in Woolworths. She came to me and said, I can't sit at home. It's driving me nuts, Liz. But I can't do anything. And I said to her, well, you can answer the phone. And she went, of course I can answer the phone. She was mature. She had a great attitude. I knew just by talking to her over the phone that she'd be great at it. Today, she is our highest paid, in-demand telemarketer. And if I had told her initially that she was going to become the best damn telemarketer in Australia, she would have ran for the hills, screaming and pulling her hair out. But what we did, we developed her. I gave her some suggestions in personal development. She went off and did that. She really committed herself to the job. I got her some clients where she started to get appointments. I called her an appointment setter. We didn't use the telemarketer term. And look at her today. And you know, I've had her clients come to me and say, Heather works on water. I don't know how she did it. She converted 4 hotels in Perth on an afternoon for this cleaning company, and Perth hotels are notoriously terrible to get appointments in, and she did it. So her clients love her, and guess what? She loves what she does. It's definitely confidence, but it's one step at a time. Overconfidence can kill your business just as much as underconfidence can. So you need to take a step at a time. So what influences your clients once you've decided what market you're going to go after? And pick anyone. It doesn't really matter. You'll learn more from just picking one niche, one really specialized niche, than you will trying to be all things to all people. So the influencers, your secret sauce is what I call it, but it is. Everyone has that something, that oomph. And I do a lot of mentoring over the phone, and I actually give people activities to do. And if Honey's still here, she'll tell you. Although I give them the activities to do and they'll send it back to me in email, it's only when they talk to me that I know that we've nailed it, because their tone increases, it's just the whole persona on the phone increases. We've nailed it because they love what they do. Food! Great! Pinterest, food! Yes, honey! Thank you. So your secret sauce is there. You've just got to identify it, and tell you what, you know it. Just sleep on it. Your key strengths. So bring in your qualifications if you've got any. If you haven't, it doesn't matter. Your experience, what you're good at, what you're prepared to put more training into to get good at it. So like Kim discovered she loves social media. She signed up for a course. Fantastic. That's what to do. I'm going to have to go because we're going behind. From your target market, your influencers and your drivers, you'll get the key messages for your business. You'll sometimes get the name of your business. You'll know who your target market is. You'll learn more. You'll go on into listening mode online. You'll learn what people are asking on forums and discussion forums, what they're posting in their updates. You might even subscribe to some of their industry magazines to see what sort of stories are being published. Okay? Your headline message is made up of those drivers. And your sub-messages is made up of the influencers. Your online profile is made up of what you do, who you help, and how you help them. Does that help everyone? Have I made that link between the activities that we did previously to where you're sitting at the moment? If you don't do those previous activities, you won't have your key messages, and they won't mean anything to anyone. Thanks, Kim. Okay, fantastic. Give it a go. You don't have anything to lose. You haven't done this before, so just give it a go. All right, so you've got your passions, you've got your goals with financial benchmarks, you've got your branding and building trust, you've got your ideal clients and target market, hopefully, or you will shortly. Your unique positioning is your secret sauce. Find out what that is. Everyone's got it. And then you've got your marketing message because you've got all of that. And that's the simple formula for a successful business. So it's worth spending time on it until you're absolutely happy with it. Look, I couldn't give you the initial stage of designing your business without telling you what the next steps are. And you'll find there's a lot of information on the internet, and you'll get confused and you'll get advice from everyone. People who say they're successful when they aren't, people who are successful but don't want to tell you everything, people who just think they know it all when in fact they don't. Once you've got that basic design, then you can start building your online business. And there's 5 stages in your online business, and you actually start with the last one. You create products. you start list building. Right from the first day, you have a website, you create a product that your target market will download to give you their email address. You have traffic generation, you have online visibility, and you have content creation. If you concentrate, once you've got your design and those 5 things, you'll soon bring in the clients that you want to service. And I'll tell you what will happen in 6 months' time. You'll start firing the clients that you brought in that you don't want to service. And that is very liberating. And I love it when the VAs come to me and say, I've got this client I picked up early on the piece and I put up with it because X, Y, Z. Can I get rid of them? Oh, pricing is a whole new thing, Lynette. I do a whole session on pricing and it'll flip your head away. Okay, so they're the next steps, right? I'm only 5 minutes late, so I don't feel too bad. Next steps, your development. We've got a free online training needs assessment, and I'll put the link in the follow-up email, and I'll also put it in this chat. I'll just grab it, take meeting notes. Do that needs assessment. It gives you, it breaks it down into 2 things: your business skills that you need to grow your business, and then the client skills that you want to develop to offer to your clients. This is part of the virtual online courses website that will be released officially at the end of September. Once you fill in that survey, we'll contact you with an analysis of what we suggest, the next steps for you personally. Every VA that I've spoken to and done mentoring with, each business is created differently because we each have different needs, different strengths, and different passions. So you can't do a cookie cutter type situation. And that needs assessment will help you with that. I'm also going